I'm just going, what's your favorite filter to use on like your
Favorite filter?
yeah, on your Mattebox?
Honestly, like I have a bunch of weird ones because I bought like this photographer was he was like retiring or something, so he posted like a box of filters, 4x4 filters that fit into my Mattbox.
Yeah.
For like $200, and each of these filters are like anywhere from 200 each to like 400 each.
Yeah.
And he gave them all to me for $200. So I bought all these filters, and there's some weird ones in there, like ones that no one would ever use. But I'm like, fuck, these are sick because they look so different, you know. So like some of my favorite ones is Soft Effects 3, which is like the highest grade of soft, like, and just blooms everything.
Yeah, I think we've
so
messed
soft.
around with them.
I've used it on a few videos. The day, I mean, now it was just, I have a video that's just released like 2 days ago, but I guess by the time this podcast released, it'd be like a week and 2 days ago or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. Where I use that filter, and so we're going for like this 80s kind of old retro look.
Oh, is it that? What's the name of it?
Petulia.
That looks sick.
Yeah.
So you use that on
that was
it?
a Soft Effect.
That's fire,
3,
dude.
and that's like the highest grade of soft.
But it looks
effect.
like, I mean, to get that effect, it looks like you did a lot of like backlighting, right?
The backlight. So we had quasars in the back lining the floor of the stage, and those fucking bloom so much. Yeah. From that effect. But not even just that, like little stuff like sparkles in the glasses from the light hitting it.
Yeah, stuff like that.
We had a
disco ball.
Disco ball.
Sick.
And we shined a Leica at it.
Yeah, I
and
want to watch that video.
Crazy, like it just looked nuts. So like stuff like that. I've used that filter on a few things, but the first video I ever used it on was this like commercial for this weed company, and they were just like, and I just thought because it was kind of like going for like a dreamy look, so I was like, all right, maybe I'll just use this. I had no idea how intense it was gonna be, and then the owner of the company was like, hey, can you tone it down on that on that soft, that's like that blurry effect? And I'm like, oh shit, like that's like, I shot it with that on, so I was like, no, but I was trying to justify. I was like, oh, I was trying to go for this dreamy look, you know, all this stuff. Like I can't tone that down. Like I turned it up to sharpness a little bit, just to kind of like, but
that's funny.
So I'm kind of scared to use it now, like on certain things, but when I can use it, it's pretty sick.
Cool. And for the people who don't know, you want to break down like the difference between 4x4 glass and threaded filters? Yeah.
So the main reason I use the filters is you can use them on any lens. So like sometimes for
you
certain
have to have
shoots,
a Mattebox though, correct?
Yeah, you need a Mattebox. I mean, which actually it gets pricier, but at the same time, if you have a lot of lenses, instead of buying one of each of these filters for each of your lenses, which would add up, you know, in cost anyways, you just get one of these filters for your Mattebox, so you can swap lenses. So you can use these filters forever. Like you don't, like if you upgrade your lenses in the future and stuff, you still be able to use these filters. Yeah. So that's the main thing. Cool.
I think. But then again, with like, if you're like on a DSLR, it might be a little much to have like a Mattebox. That's true. You shouldn't, like, especially if you're doing run and gun videos. But you can still get like more cinematic videos by using these filters and whatnot, like a Pro Mist 1/4. Is that one you would recommend?
Yeah. So the fourth. So it's actually, I use an eighth
quarter.
More.
You use an eighth, yeah. Oh yeah, quarter's a little strong.
There's actually a trick to it though. Like there's depending on what focal length. Because different focal lengths react to the filters differently. So
because you're using a smaller portion of the filter.
But also like you have to think about it, like if you have a longer focal length, like stuff in the foreground is a lot blurrier. So the way these filters work is there's little specks, especially the black Pro Mist, there's little specks on it. And if you're using a longer lens, these specks are bigger and they're more kind of like
prominent.
Like so if you're using wider lenses, you would use a
stronger filter.
Yeah,
like a quarter.
Yeah. As opposed to using longer lenses, you'd use the eighth. But at the same time, there's a reverse to it. Like if you're shooting close-ups on people's faces and you want their skin to be nicer, you would use the stronger one like on the those.
Quarter. Yeah.
So it's weird.
Half, yeah,
so that's actually like, if anything, you should get both of them. But if you can only afford one, I would probably go with the less intense one.
Yeah, and those come in like screw-on filters. But like what I would recommend is like if you have a bunch of lenses, and you don't want a matte box, you could get the threaded version either in like 82 or 77.
Yeah, and then just get
step up rings. Yeah. So you have a bunch of different lenses, but you can get step up. But be careful with step up rings, because like I've seen the ones that look like those little kid toys, and they go like I don't know.
Wait, what?
Like here, let me pull up a photo.
What do you mean?
So like I like the step up rings where it's just like 55 to 77, and it's just like one small one, and it like goes big like that. Whereas like people have these step up rings, and it's like almost like a little pyramid.
And it's a bunch of them. You're saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You get problems with that, because like if you
sometimes you get stuck and stuff.
It gets stuck, but it's also like you can get vignetting, like if you're on a wide enough lens, because there's so much space in between there. Sometimes light shines in. I've used them before. They're not the best. Damn. I mean, it's cool to have those in like in a pinch, but definitely I think it's good to like it's only like $3, especially if you get them off eBay. Yeah. So just look up like a 55 to 77 and get that specific one for your lens. Yeah. But yeah, I mean that's a cheaper way to do it.
So only depending, especially if you're only shooting on DSLRs, you're only doing run and gun shoots, and you try.
I mean, you still use a 77mm screw-on ND.
I do, because to buy a full set of NDs is like at least $1,000 to $3,000. So
I still have my ND. I've had that ND for like 4 or 5 years now. Last question. I'll check Cinepax.